Hello everyone, Bill from CambodiYeah. I know it's been about a month since I've made a video. I've been really sick, but I'm mostly better now. So let's get to the video. This is a whole bunch of tips that I've shared across various other videos about how to save money in Cambodia. I had one about how expensive is Cambodia really. I've had one about apartments. I've had several others, and I figured I'd collect a whole bunch of these tips together to share with you 10 really good ways to save money in Cambodia, because for some reason a lot of people still think Cambodia is really expensive, and I think they're comparing it to their neighbors Thailand and Vietnam, because you can get a lot of food for a bit cheaper there. But I mean, if you're spending $1 more and you come from a Western country, that doesn't really quite yet count as expensive. It's just slightly less cheap than the other ones. If you're still paying $2 to $3 for a meal, try that back home. So yeah, it's still really, really cheap. And I think a lot of people who think it's expensive also just aren't really going to the right places. They're hanging out in the tourist areas, going to Pub Street, going to the Western restaurants, buying imported goods, shopping at the supermarkets instead of the wet markets, whole bunch of stuff like that. So let me share some things. Some of them will apply to you, some might not. Some apply more to tourists or to expats. And so just take the ones that work for you and don't worry about the rest. So here we go. The first one, once you've seen the tourist spots, go somewhere else. Don't stick to the tourist spots. That's where the scams are. That's where the higher prices are. You know, get away from there. You literally can go like half a block from Pub Street and find cheaper and better food. Pub Street, you know, there's a lot of restaurants there. They'll lure you in with the 50-cent beers and then overcharge you on food. You'll go there and you'll see like $6 or $7 beef lak lak or fish amok. You can go a block away and get the same thing for like $3. It's definitely a lot cheaper away from the tourist areas. So that's the first step. Get away from the tourist areas. Number 2, eat local. What I mean by that is go to the street food stalls, go to the little local restaurants that you won't find on Google Maps. Don't go to the places that are having to import food. Don't go to the places that are like, you know, higher end restaurants, nicer looking restaurants. Not only because it's more expensive at those restaurants, but also because you're more likely to get food poisoning than from street food. Because with street food, all those ingredients, they don't have time to go bad. Their ingredients sell out every day. In a restaurant, they're keeping stuff in the refrigerator. Sometimes they keep that stuff for longer than they should. And the only time I ever got food poisoning in Southeast Asia was at a Burger King. Number 3, for transportation, take PassApp or Grab rather than a regular tuk-tuk. PassApp and Grab, they work like Uber. With PassApp, you do have to have a Cambodian phone number. With Grab, you do not. With those, it's like you see where you're coming from, you see where you're going, you see the price. All of that is laid out for you. There's no haggling. With a tuk-tuk, they're going to try to get as much money as they can out of you. Some of them can be a bit unscrupulous and try to charge you more than you agreed upon. And it's like, and, you know, you really should, if you're going to take regular tuk-tuks, negotiate before you get in, agree on a price before you get in, and stick to it. But otherwise, use PassApp or Grab. Use those and get around, and it's cheap, and it's reputable. So, number 4, shop at wet markets whenever possible. If you can get something at a wet market, go there. Some things you may not be able to get there, so you have to go to other stores. That's fine. But as much as possible, use the wet markets because they are the cheapest. You won't find better deals than at wet markets. And they have just about everything. I mean, a lot of them are vast, like Savi You and Siem is massive. You can get lost in them. And if you want a little extra tip, how to not get lost, if you find yourself getting lost, pick a direction and stick to it, and you'll come out one side or the other. Also, a little tip on wet markets, do not haggle on the food, the produce, the meat, the prepared food. Don't haggle on that stuff. Everything else is fair game to haggle on if you choose to. You know, the clothes, the kitchen implements, all that kind of stuff. One thing that will help in that, number 5, is learn some Kamai. Just a little bit will go a long way. Learn the numbers, learn some simple phrases like man, which is like how much, or once you get to know somebody a little bit, you can just ask man, and they'll know that means how much. And some phrases like "tlai like that's so expensive, or if they're haggling, if you can haggle a little bit in Kamai and they say $5, and you can go muy dollar bante. Is $1 okay? And they might buon dollar, $4. And you go from there $8, $2, and then you eventually arrive, by dollar, okay, $3. When I was asking at first, muy dollar bante, muy is one, dollar, bante is like the end of what you put at the end of a sentence if it's like a may I, can I, or can this happen kind of question. So yeah, learn as much Kamai as you can. Will help. It will go a long way. Oh, a little bonus tip I'll give you also is once you find someone who's really cool and you like going to them and, they have good prices and everything, keep going back to that same person and you'll build a bit of rapport with them. And you may find they'll surprise you with giving you even cheaper prices or throwing in a little bit extra. Like I had that happen a few times and it was a pleasant surprise and it's really wonderful. It's because I tried with the Kamai. Number 6, cook at home as often as you can. If you go to the wet markets, you're buying your ingredients there. They're already dirt cheap. You're cooking them at home. That's, you can get 2 to 3 days worth of food for like $5 at a wet market and you'll be set. So, buy at the wet markets, cook at home. And of course, sure, there's a lot of cheap restaurants out there. You don't have to cook at home, but if you're really looking to save money, that's a great way to do it. Number 7, if you're getting food delivery, use all of the different apps that are around. Nam24, Food Panda, all the rest of those. They have different promotions. They have different prices at different times, often for the same place. So if you look up the same place in all the different apps or all the apps that have that place and compare the prices, then you'll find that you can get at one place, it might be $7. At another place, it might be $3. You never know. So play those apps against each other. No reason to be loyal to one of them. Number 8, don't drink every night. I know you can get lured in with those 50 and 75 cent and $1 beers. And, you start slamming a whole bunch of beers all the time. And a lot of expats will get caught in the trap of just hanging out at the bars because the beer's cheap and they got nothing else to do. So they'll do that, and that can lead to a downward spiral. And that's usually the most jaded expats are the ones who spend all day in the fucking bar. And they're the ones who learn to hate Cambodia. It's like, well, you stopped exploring, dude. You stopped finding the wonder in the kingdom of wonder. Obviously, there's nothing wrong with a few pints. I have it now and then. But if let's say you're drinking $5 a beer a night, and you're doing that every night, that's like $150 in a month. That you don't really need to be spending that much, do you? So it's up to you, but if you want to save some more money, drink occasionally. Number 9, run your fans way more than you run the AC. What a lot of expats do is they'll run their fans during the day. If you don't have ceiling fans, get some standing fans and run those during the day. They're a lot cheaper to run than the AC. A lot of people will just run the AC at night to help them sleep, create a cooler environment for that. And that helps keep those electricity bills down because electricity is one of the things in Cambodia that is more expensive than lots of other places. So that's one thing you do need to watch. If you have AC, if you can get one that's an inverter AC, that will save you more money. The last one, number 10, talk to expats and go on Facebook groups. Get information from people who have been there for a while. Most of the expats are quite happy to share the good places they've gone. There's no reason to keep them a secret. Most expats are quite helpful and friendly and willing to help. If they find a good mechanic, you get a moto and you need to get it fixed, you want someone reputable, ask around. Go to a couple expat bars and ask around. Or go on the expat Facebook groups for Cambodia and for whatever city you live in. And of course, you got to watch out for trolls who are going to feed you a bunch of crap and be stupid, but ignore them and focus on the posts that seem reputable and see if you can find out if anyone else knows about that person. Just double check. And you'll be surprised what a wealth of info other expats can be. I found wonderful info when I was just going to expat bars when I was there before. So many good tips and tricks you can learn that you won't find anywhere else. So I hope this helps you a lot. I think with this will help you save a lot more money in Cambodia. You'll find it's not as expensive as so many people are saying if you know what you're doing and you know where to go. Let me know if there's anything else you want to talk about. My next video, I think, will be about the most conducive mindset to living in Cambodia. If there's anything else you want to hear about, ask me some questions in the comments, and I'll do what I can. If I've already talked about it, I'll point you to that video. And if I don't know, I'll point you to someone who does. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe if you'd be so kind. And until next time, take care.